Welcome to 101 with Frank. And I want to take some time to talk about the type of individuals that you should never get married to. And over time, I have listened to a lot of people, and I've come to realize that, I keep hearing the same thing. And I just realized, oh man, this is really crazy because oftentimes people say, oh, these are red flags. They are red flags for a reason. And I think I always encourage people I know, if you haven't lived with someone, you haven't really, spent a year or two with that individual, trying to sleep in the same home, waking up together, you really do not know that person fully. And here is my list of individuals you shouldn't get married to. And I also want to hear what your lists are and the things that I may have skipped. My number one in my list is do not ever get married to someone who never apologized, someone who never did anything wrong. There's never a time that they could feel like I have done something wrong. They are never in the wrongdoing. Someone who never forgives, someone who feels like I have no reasons to forgive you. I have no reason to apologize. Like they hold things back so much that they can use whatever you done for or whatever you did to them like a year or two ago, they can bring it back in the next year to attack you. Those individuals hold grudges. Like it's crazy. It doesn't make a healthy relationship. Individuals that, it doesn't matter if this is not about a woman or man, it's for both genders. Any gender, anybody who doesn't have the heart to forgive and apologize and let things go on my list is the number one person you should not involve yourself with. And the number two on my list, someone who doesn't find anything wrong in what they're doing. They lack, like, everything they do is right. They are never in the wrong. That is a red flag, a big major red flag. And even though someone from the outside is saying what you did is wrong, you did this person wrong, they're still confident saying, no, what I did is right. They're very arrogant about, their stand in terms of they're never doing anything wrong. That's number two. Number three on my list is someone who, no matter what you do for them, they see no value in it. Like they are never appreciative. What you're doing for them is never enough. They're always in comparison with others. Oh, one Mr. B or one Mr. C or one Miss or Mrs. E or Mrs. C do this, always in comparison. Never appreciate the things you do, never have any value for or appreciation regardless of whatever you do. That number three on my list. Number four on my list. Number four on my list. What is number four on my list? I'm trying to think here. Someone who lacks the ability to communicate efficiently. I want to repeat this word. Someone who lacks the ability to communicate efficiently. Someone who cannot effectively communicate their needs or their want or their problem without going into a defensive mood. Hey, God. Like you try to communicate, every communication becomes a battle. Every communication is like they already put up their fist. They're ready to fight. It's like now you're just having a mere communication and their fist is up and they want to fight. They're going into this war already. There's a war around them and they feel like whenever you come to them for communication, it could be just planning, it could be things that you're saying. You just want to communicate different things, right? And they put this defensive mood up. They have the fist to fight. It's always never a easy conversation. If you get involved with this kind of person, your life is going to be always a battle, right? It's always going to be a battle because that person would always have this feast, this defensive mood. And some of this, what I've learned is some of this could be from childhood trauma. It could be from the way they were raised, or they always felt like everyone is trying to attack them. They always feel attacked. Um, it's hard to really communicate with that kind of person. So you should be watching that number four on my list, right? That is really critical in terms of a healthy relationship, in terms of having a very comfortable environment or safe place to feel like you want to be able to talk, right? Or share your worries or concern. Those individuals make it really difficult for you to even have a say in anything because now you're always thinking, if I go bring this information to this person, they're going to have their defensive mood up. They're going to have their face willing to, to fight back. So be careful. That number 4 on my list. Um the the number 5 on my list. Number 5 on my list that I'm thinking about now. It's really hard. Is somebody um who doesn't know when to let go, who doesn't know how to, you know, let things go and when to let things go, and how to be able to bring things back to normality. For instance, you have a fight with someone, and either your spouse or your wife, and then none of you know how to say, oh, I'm sorry, bring things back to normality, and or know a way to kind of playfully get you guys back on track. And you guys could go on for months or 6 months over one little thing that doesn't make sense, right? No, when you have somebody who is not playful, who doesn't have the the charisma to really, that knows you well enough to be able to, know how to get things back on track or get you guys back on that lovey-dovey space, that is really hard to live with, because it creates what they call a silence in the home, or like you guys are keeping malice on the over something that doesn't really amount to anything, that you could really sort it out over dinner or a playful moment. They don't know how to be playful. It's bad. It's bad. That's a really, you know um key one you should watch out for. You always want to be with somebody who has a charisma, who has a better charisma to be able to, no matter the fight or issue you have, they could just come up with something funny, and before you know it, you guys are back on track and had forgotten whatever that issue was that was making you guys even fight in the first place. And um, another key thing is, another my number 6 on the list is someone who always seek outsiders opinion. If you have somebody that always take information at home and go out and seek outsiders opinion, um, you are doomed because there's no way an outsider will give that person any better information about you, because you don't even know if the outsider really likes you, or that outsider could be someone that doesn't even like you, but at all being together. So now, and they're always seeking outsider opinion or validation. This is a hard one, because there's nothing that you do that is going to make it better, right? Because they don't value your opinion. They rather seek the outsider opinion over yours, and over the things that you guys are supposed to do at home or things that you're planning. They look at things from the outside, or get that outsider opinion to say, oh, yeah, we should do it this way, or we should go to this place because so and so went to this place. Um, they don't have their own will or ability to make decisions for themselves, or even make decisions together. It's a problem. It's a problem. That's going to be something that you're going to be battling with. And most of these red flags or things that I'm putting on my list is not something that someone can easily just adjust from. And especially the one with bad communication, where they always have a defensive mood and putting a fist up to want to always fight, or have every conversation becomes a battle. That is really hard for any. I've never seen anyone who has that kind of issue to easily come out of that. It's always a battle, so you're going to be dealing with that for a long, long time. um, Having somebody who can communicate effectively, and who see communication as a way of resolving issues, and not a way of or feeling like they're being attacked, or feeling like that individual is a is coming up with a fight or trying to fight, because of something or little things. Always thinking in the back of their mind that communication is a way of resolving issue, and we can communicate to improve on what we're doing. Um, these individuals would never change, unfortunately, and and you can try. I think there are some things that there's um, so many online messaging around. You hear even in this different pop the balloon series. You hear, I want someone who can communicate effectively. That tells you how big and how important effective communication, someone who can effectively communicate, and someone who have the heart of forgiving and letting things go, can really make or break a relationship, right? Um, I do say, do not marry someone who never do anything wrong, who is always in the right, who never appreciates you, who never knows how to um, uh, uh, bring things to normality. When I say normality is, you could be angry with somebody if they're angry with you too and don't know how to sweeten the pot or make things better or make you guys laugh about it. So I think this is where people were saying someone who is funny. Maybe I don't know if the right word is funny. Someone who has some sort of a way that is funny, that knows how to, that is not uptight, that is not like, I don't know how to explain it, but when you see that person that, like, they don't, I think the right word here would be, they don't hold grudges. They're not like people who can, they don't hold things or issues that has happened maybe, like a day ago. They don't hold it for a long time. They are easily to let things go and move on. They're not someone who likes to fight. I think maybe that's the type of person that, you hear all this Pop the Balloon series and they talk about that a lot. It's very key. A lot of people are being divorced and a lot of people are having struggling issues because they didn't really spend the right amount of time to really live with the person that they want to get involved with. They didn't really assess their character. They only saw the physical, they only saw the things that they can give, they only see the physical and the material things, and that clouded judgment. And when you let that cloud your judgment, you miss out on things like, is this person does this person have the heart to forgive? Can this person apologize when they're wrong? Can this person see that their wrong doing is actually something that is hurting other people? Or is this person never feel like they never do anything wrong? Is this person someone that appreciate and value the things you do? Is this person easy to communicate with? When you communicate, do they have a fist up? Do they feel like, oh, I have to be defensive now because this person is coming to fight for my, I'm ready to fight for my life? Those are key things you should be looking for. In the broader sense of things, um, have someone in your life that is God fearing, that puts you above any other thing else. Like, if you are God fearing and you respect the person you with, I think, and you love the person genuinely, I think that person's opinion matters. And when you do not have the same level of love and care as the other person have, it becomes an issue, because now you don't care if you lose that person or not, right? So, and being with someone who is God fearing, you always have this ability to to pray for things and always have the softer side to say, I'm going to talk through this, we're going to pray over this. Those little prayers and things that they talk about, things that they do to you together, actually does go a long way, because it helps you guys. Because remember, they say family who prays together stays together, right? So if you guys are praying together, if you guys are communicating those things, or just basically just sharing the word together, I think that also helps in terms of long lasting relationship. But you shouldn't be blindfolded too with all this, red flag and things that you shouldn't do. So be careful, watch out for this, um, you know, individuals with this different attitude. And, I think just being mindful when you start seeing these things and just be noting them down and try to, I think the key one is that effective communication. Once they're not able to communicate properly or always feel like they have to go in a defensive mood, and or people who are never appreciated no matter what you do, people who never do anything wrong, who never let things go, people who are unteachable, man, you can't teach them anything. You can't, like they always feel like you're always putting them down. You should watch out for those individuals, really really carefully before you engage in something that, I mean, 30 years is a long time. And if the little things cannot be adjusted prior to marriage, you shouldn't even, proceed with that marriage. So these are the things you should watch out for before you engage anyone. And I would say the key thing here is live with that person, spend time with them before even pursuing anything serious, because all this attitude doesn't show up in one day. Remember, love is sweet when it's new, but once you've been with that person for, a while, you know, it's a whole different ball game. So be mindful and take this into consideration as you go into your marriage journey, or as you get to know that person you're taking serious. look for these things and try to see if you can work them out on time before it's too late.